Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
You were prepared.
Yes, I was. I was right there, poised like a cat, ready to pounce on your ears.
You have
and your face.
Your face.
And well, your eyes, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be more accurate. I wasn't just going to pounce on your face. Listeners.
I'm disappointed now.
Well, don't say that. That made it weird.
It's only weird if
weird already.
It's only weird if you make it weird, okay? It's quite straightforward.
Okay, and well, that was an opener, wasn't it?
That's welcome to the Tuesday show on Friday nights.
Tuesday show, Friday night live stream, and the chat's already. The chat's already there. We've got at least one. Yeah. At least one person in the chat.
There's three. We can include us in there too.
There's three. Two of them are us, and yes.
How are you, Ted?
Yeah. Well, whilst we wait for the chat to fire up like a like Leeds,
like a bus in Leeds.
Yeah, we will crack on and do our introductions. Hey, CJ, I'm great, thanks. How are you doing?
Great. I feel like I might have just cancelled myself though, but I'm sweating. I'm hot. It's so hot in this room. It's been a terribly, terribly hot day today. Yeah. I mean, I say that. So we've had a high of like 27 degrees where I am today, 27 Celsius, 80 something Fahrenheit. Yep. Yeah, when I think about I've said a few times my girlfriend lives in America. She's like right in the center band, and they go up to like 105 degrees Fahrenheit, which is something stupid like 40 something in Celsius. And it's just like we complain about the weather here in the UK all the time, and especially when it gets hot. And I think the hottest I've ever known it in the UK is about 40 something. That was a couple of years ago. Yeah. And I was just like, I thought I was going to die, but we don't have air conditioning, so that's my excuse for complaining about the weather in the UK. We don't have AC as standard.
Hot. Yeah, it's not that hot. And then, yes, it got to 40 degrees, but it got 40 degrees because they recorded the temperature on a runway, as I recall, at some point last year. It's like, oh look, it's 40 degrees, global warming.
No, we're not allowed to say that anymore. It's climate change.
Oh yeah. Clearly not warm enough for global warming.
It is not warm enough for global warming.
Yes, quick change to the narrative there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so no, we're just not ready for it. We're not set up for it.
No.
Hang on, we've already discussed this for the Tuesday show, series 5, episode 14.
Well, don't give the game away, Ted.
Yes. Well, if you want to hear us talking about the weather and top class content like that. See how I'm doing a bit of cross promotion.
Yes, cross promotion. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to hear this nonsense conversation replayed into your ears, then wait until Tuesday, and you'll get the pleasure.
Yeah, maybe Wednesday,
and maybe even the podcast as well.
Yeah. Anyway, hi David, welcome back to the show.
Aha.
I'll say that like he's actually a guest on the show. It's like, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the show.
Well, welcome back to the chats, David. Yeah, good to see you. And hi, Bex, as well. We said hi before the show started in the chat there, but hello anyway.
Welcome both.
Welcome both.
Welcome both.
Yeah, and the other 3 people watching. So, because we have 5 right now. So
happy indeed.
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, we have 5 right now.
If you're watching and you're not in the chat, get in the chat.
Yes. Say hi.
CJ, just a quick lesson for those people that perhaps don't quite know their way around YouTube. How do you get in the chat? How do you do that?
You look on the left. Well, if you're watching on your mobile, if you scroll down, you'll see a little comments thing. If you tap on that, you can then add a comment. If you're watching on a PC or something larger, the comment section might be to the right-hand side of the video. And there'll be a little bit there that says chat ...
Is it true that to be in the chat, you need to have a channel? So technically be a channel owner to be able to use the chat? No,
you just need to be on YouTube. You just need to have a Google account to use YouTube like you would for anything. You can't do it without. And you can't chat unless you have a Google account. That's the simple answer there.
Right.
So you must have a Google account.
That was a public service announcement from the Tuesday Show.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs either.
Stay in school.
There we go. Stay in school, don't do drugs.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, carry on. I keep interrupting you. Go.
That's okay. That's what I come to expect.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Anyway, what's the topic for today?
I don't remember.
How do you not remember? We literally said it before we.
But you're the one that normally does what we're talking about.
Sorry. Okay, so what we're talking about today
because you write it down.
is superpowers. Yes, and that's why I put something in the chat. You'll notice that I put a little Superman emoji, and said superheroes. And
if you didn't understand what we were getting at by that, just get out, get in the sea.
Well, I'll tell you exactly what happened there. I was going to put something more than that. I was going to put superheroes is our topic for tonight. Okay. So get in touch and tell us what superpower that you would anyway. So I was going to do more, and then you were like 3, 2, 1, we're on, and then I just hit send, and we're straight into it. So the topic is. Well, the question for tonight is: if you could have any superpower, and you can use this superpower once a month, what would that superpower be? And it's not a different one each month. Okay,
it has to be the same one every month.
It's not a mixed bag. It's not pick and mix.
Oh.
All right, you pick your superpower, and you can use it once a month.
I mean,
for like a day.
If my girlfriend is watching, the official answer is teleportation, and which I can use once a month. So I will teleport to America, to where she lives, and we will spend a month together, and then I'll teleport back the next month, and then go to work.
Oh, that's interesting. So hang on, so we're going to basically take half the year off.
I mean, I wish I could afford that. But then again, if I had the power of teleportation, I might just but again, here's where we need to figure out some rules, okay? So this, I can teleport as much as I like inside a day, or I can only use that power just once per month. So I can only teleport once in the month. So...
Oh, that would be tricky, wouldn't it?
That's right, because it's like, well...
And you're there and you're stuck for a month.
I mean, I wouldn't complain about being there and stuck for a month, but it's that that then kind of drives the narrative on... sorry, I'm just reading comments there, and apparently I'm much louder than you are, Ted. So sorry about that, everybody.
Okay.
There you go. Is that better? Is that better?
Now you're a bit quieter for me.
Yeah, well, you can live with it. So
okay.
It's because I'm right on the microphone like this. I'm literally sat here right like this, and that's why it's anyway.
Yeah. It's like you're doing the horse races, and he's coming up on the left, and he's and it's Shago.
I say, and here comes Brown Trousers coming around on the last furlong. Oh, he's being caught up by a hairy monster. I don't know.
Brown Trousers, hairy monster.
They're literally the first stupid names I can think of. Because
okay,
all horses.
That says a lot about your mind.
Right, it does. Right, all horses have stupid names. That's the thing. All horses have ridiculous names. Like I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember. Anyway, let's move on before I go down a rabbit hole of stupid horse names.
None of that horsing around.
Yes, enough horsing around.
We're not having any of that.
But it would really drive the narrative of what I would do with that power of teleportation if it's limited to I can just teleport once per month. Because then it would literally be, well, I'll just teleport to her place. stay there a month, and then teleport back again.
This is a bit tricky, yes, but then you might be kind of outstaying your welcome, because a whole month you might get sick of you. So maybe it could be a case of you teleport at the beginning of the day, then you've got, well, it's teleportation, so it's almost immediate. So you practically got 24 hours. Now you can probably fit a lot in 24 hours.
That's what she said.
And you probably wouldn't have that much to fit in. So,
no, I really don't have that much to fit in. No.
So you could do a lot in 24 hours.
You really could.
You really could.
Really could. But I mean, well, if my other half is watching, please get in the comments and tell me, is a month too long?
Okay.
So
yeah. So yes, is a month too long? What is the perfect length? That's what we need to know.
8 inches, apparently.
It is interesting though, because if we say that your politically correct answer, shall we say, is teleportation, what would your other answer be? If it could be absolutely anything, what would your superpower be that you can use for a day once a month? What would it be?
My reading minds, I think. I think I'd like to be a telepath. Yeah, I don't know. So I base that really on how, mainly at work, how people seem to think that I am a mind reader, and I know what everyone's thinking, and it's like I really don't. So if I had the power to be a mind reader for a day, every month, that would be awesome. You know, I'd schedule all my meetings for that one day and would be like, right, do the old Professor X, I'm reading your mind type thing. And then I feel like I'd be more productive because I actually understand what people are asking me, rather than not.
Okay. Or they could just ask you properly.
I mean, there is that, and I try, but
what about the dangers of being able to read people's minds?
I don't know. I think it'd be quite funny.
Would you?
Yeah, just the thoughts that some people have.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they're about things, if they're like negative thoughts about me, I'd be like, okay, now I know not to converse with you. Yeah, that's fine.
What if they're all negative about you?
Oh, I'll just go kill myself.
What if everybody hates? Oh dear. So, that took a bit of a turn.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when it comes to reading minds, so here's your problem. You see, it's all very well if you can read somebody's mind and they're saying one thing to you, but they're actually thinking another. You can't really. It's very difficult to use that. Yes, you can ignore them or just stop interacting with them. But if you have to interact with them and they're saying something and they're basically lying to you, what can you actually do about it? Because you can't say to them, well, as it happens, I can read your mind. You can never prove that they're saying one thing and doing another, or thinking another. Or unless you say, I know what you're thinking about right now. And if they think, oh no, I'm going to get away with this, I'll just think about badgers. And you go, haha, you just thought to yourself, I'm going to get away with this by thinking about badgers. And that'll freak them out.
It'll blow their mind. Yeah.
But it will also blow your cover.
Yeah. True.
And you might end up being kidnapped and taken off to Area 51.
That's
and
true.
Have experiments done on you.
That is true. I mean, I know you're not really into film, like that's probably the wrong thing to say. I know you like some films.
I do like some films.
Have you seen the film called What Women Want?
Yes.
Starring Mel Gibson.
Yes.
It would literally be that kind of scenario where people would say one thing to you, but they think something else, but you then kind of disguise it and you go, but what about this? Which would be the thing they just thought, and they'd be like, yeah, that's a good idea. I was just thinking about that. And you're like, in your head, you're like, I know.
No, I remember that. It's quite a good film. I haven't seen it for ages. But what did he do? He had a few drinks, then fell over in his balcony and knocked his head or something. And then all of a sudden, he could hear the voices or the inner monologues of all the women around him.
Lightning. He got struck by lightning.
Ah, that was it. And then
because when he tried to undo it, he basically took a bath with a toaster, and that didn't work.
The most realistic part of that, I thought, was when there was one scene where he was just like, "No, I can't take it," and he was running away, and all he could hear was. I thought, yeah. Yeah,
that's realistic.
That would be torture.
I mean, I don't know if it's. I think if I could read someone's mind, I'd have to have the ability to turn it off, or listen to people's thoughts. I'd have to be, or else you would just go mad. You would go mad. It would be constant noise. I mean, I deal with constant noise anyway. It's called tinnitus. But just the constant chatter in your head, especially if you're trying to do something like work, and all you can hear is chatter. It would just it would be incredibly distracting, and I think I'd go mad. But that's what I would do. What superpower would you have for once a month for a day?
Well, just a moment. Let's talk about tinnitus for a moment. What? I mean, how does that sound?
Like a ringing sensation.
Like is it like a pulsing thing?
Constant. It's a constant ringing. Yeah. I don't. How do you describe it? Apart from a concert, have you ever been to, I don't know, a concert? Or you've been somewhere that's really loud, and then you come out of it, and you've just got this ringing in your ears for a short while. It's that, but all the time.
Right.
And the best way to get rid of it is to listen to other things. Which I think it's partly why I like to listen to music so much, because it distracts it. But it's a weird thing where people go, "I love peace and quiet," and I'm just like, well, when I get peace and quiet, it's actually quite loud.
Yeah.
And quite. It's one of those. I just live with it. There's no thing for it. Or maybe there is. I just haven't been to a doctor to say, "Hey, I've got this constant ringing in my ears," because I know what they'll say. You're too fat, and you need to quit nicotine. You need to quit nicotine, caffeine, and it'll probably go away. Even though I've had this for most of my life.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I mean, here's a little slice of what it's like to be Ted. Is that I seem to have developed a bit of but it's kind of a pulsing thing, and it always affects one side more than the other. Or one ear, which is kind of weird. And I practically do the same thing. Like the only way to actually get peace from that is to be listening to something, whether it's a podcast or, like you say, music, and it kind of and then you can't hear it anymore. Like weirdly,
I'll say you don't notice it, because I mean, for me, it's not loud.
Yeah,
but it's there and it's noticeable. So when something, it's like having white noise in your ear all the time, but just, I don't know, like it's a ringing, like you say, when you come out of a concert or a really loud place and you can hear the ringing, it's that.
Yeah.
The pulsing thing. I mean, I'm no medical professional, so don't take my word as gospel on this one. But I'd say that's probably more blood pressure related. I get that when I'm stressed. There's a few things that happen to me when I'm stressed, and again, if my other half's listening, she'll probably shout at me later on and tell me to hit myself with a poo pillow that's behind me. So I get like numbness in my left hand when I get really stressed.
Right.
And sometimes you'll see it's a weird, like, I guess it's just the blood vessels on the palm of my hand. You'll see them really prominently, like it goes bright red. So I get that, and then I also get pulsing in like my left ear.
Right.
No, left.
Left.
But that only really happened. I mean, I've noticed it, as the years have gone on. That's what happens when I'm stressed, and it's really when I'm in a stress situation. But the tinnitus thing for me is. I mean, maybe yours is. I don't know. Does it come in different forms? Chat. Let us know. If you know anyone that's got tinnitus, let us know.
Yeah. Certainly mine comes and goes. Yeah, but if you're listening to this, get in touch, get in the comments, get in the chat. Let us know. Are you affected by such things? Do you get tinnitus? Do you get anything else that stops you from sleeping or thinking or having a bit of peace and quiet?
Are you listening to this thinking? Are you listening to this thinking, my God, this is a horrible ring in my ears?
Dave, should we take a look at the chat?
I'll say David's been in the comments. Bex came in first and David with brilliant film. Love that film, talking about what women want, and it is a good film. Like I said, I haven't seen it for a long time. But David said, Ted, your pulsing could be a wax build-up in one ear. It can happen when you sleep on the same side.
Sorry, say again.
Ted, your pulsing could be a wax build-up in one ear. It could happen when I know you're taking the piss, but it can happen when you sleep on the same side.
It could well be, yeah. And I do tend to sleep on one side because here's another little slice of what it's like to be Ted. I've got a deviated septum, so I find it a lot easier to sleep on one side than the other side. Just for purposes of breathing, and I think breathing's important. Do you breathe? Get in touch. Get in the chat. Do you breathe? What do you breathe? Oxygen? A mixture? What do you like best?
Yeah, a bit of a mixture. Interesting you say that. So here's a slice of what it's like to be CJ. So when I don't have a particular side of the bed that I prefer to sleep on. But what I have to do is sleep facing outwards. But I have to start trying to sleep. So when I get into bed, I have to face inwards, like towards the middle of the bed. So let's say I'm sleeping on the left-hand side of the bed. When I get into bed, I have to be sleeping facing the right-hand side. Okay. And then after I feel myself getting a bit relaxed, and maybe my eyes are getting a bit heavy, I have to turn over, and that puts me to sleep.
Right.
If I get into bed and face outwards, so if I rolled forward, I'd fall off the bed. If I get into bed facing outwards, I cannot get to sleep. I will not sleep. But it doesn't matter which side of the bed I'm on.
Okay, so I'm going to ask what I think probably an obvious question for anybody listening, which is, let's assume we're talking about you in a single living situation. What difference does it make in terms of whether you're facing inwards or outwards? Because surely you're always facing outwards. In
a single bed. Now, I know I'm a wide person. I'm large and probably I do fill up a single bed. But I have to move myself towards the edge of the bed. So I have an inner side and an outer side.
Okay.
As weird and crazy as that sounds, that's what I have to do.
Right.
I may then, the thing is, but then sometimes I'll wake up and I will be facing inwards on the bed, which is strange to me. But yeah, it's that I've tried, I'll get into bed facing outwards. I can't settle down. I have to face inwards first, and then turn over to face outwards, and then I'll fall asleep.
Yeah.
Very, very strange. Or unless my mind is racing or, my ears are ringing quite loudly, then I might flip over quite a few times before I finally settle down, but I have to start by facing inwards on the bed. It's very, very weird.
That is very weird. But listen, chat. Get in the chat. Let us know. Do you face inwards, outwards, a combination of the two? Do you have to do one thing or the other? Which way do you sleep? Do you sleep inwards, outwards, upside down? Who knows?
Shake it all about.
Shake it all about. One leg in, one leg out. Sometimes I like to have a leg out.
I was going to say, and actually, especially right now, as it's warmer weather, I will generally have a leg hanging out of the duvet, from under the duvet.
Yeah, I feel like there always needs to be a duvet or a sheet.
Yes.
But most of it's hanging out, by which I mean legs.
Yeah, and everything else. All three of them are hanging out, yeah. That is a weight thing. So I read somewhere that there was this study about having weight, and this is where weighted blankets help a lot of people. It's like when you try to sleep, you end up, you have to have the weight kind of pushing you down. It's a comfort thing, maybe something quite fetal about it, like when you're in the womb, it's all pressurized and all that stuff. And I'm exactly the same when it comes to my duvet. I back in May switched from my winter duvet to my summer duvet. The winter duvet is very heavy, it's very thick and heavy, and it's lovely. But then the summer duvet is a lot lighter, and it takes me a couple of weeks to actually get used to that. But I still have a blanket on top as well. So I go, I've got the sheet that I lay on, then another sheet on top of me, then a duvet on top of that, and then a blanket on top of that. A lot of layers going on there, but it's what I find comfortable. It's very strange. But yeah, it's all about weight. So even during the summer, when people have duvets or comforters or whatever, blankets, it's about having the weight down. I think that's what that is for you as well. I think it's the same for most people. David said that he has to sleep on his left-hand side, but he's got a weighted blanket and it's brilliant. So yeah, I'm sure it's a comfort thing.
Yeah, I've got a question, David. I'm looking at the chat, and one of the things in the chat it says "dirty hole there." Lol. I have no idea what that relates to. Is that a sleeping issue? Is it something to do with the ears? Please clarify.
That was something to do with the superpowers, and I can't remember what my second choice of superpower was. The mind reading.
Yeah.
Oh no, we were talking about the teleportation, and a lot can get done in 24 hours. And that's when the dirty hole there comment came in.
Oh, I see. Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, get in the chat and let's have some superpowers. Let us know what you'd like if you could have a superpower that you can use once a month. What would it be?
He just said 24 hours with CJ's girlfriend.
24 hours with CJ's girlfriend. Is that the superpower that you want? Because you can only have it once a month, David. I'm afraid to say.
What? So right now it's your. What is your? What would you choose as your superpower?
What would I choose? Well, I mean, the thing is, even the question without the once a month business, the question always, whenever I've thought about this, the answer has to be the power of invisibility.
Okay.
And yes, it would be a combination of good and evil for which I would use this. But no, it would be invisibility. And the thing is, I know you like the whole teleportation thing. Great. But you know what? To do that journey, I could do that journey too with invisibility, zero cost. Because I can go to the airport, I can get on a plane, I can find a spare seat, pop myself down, nobody knows I'm there.
Mm-hmm. Free
travel.
Yeah.
I could even go to Leeds and get on a bus. No, I couldn't.
God.
No. But the thing is, I could travel anywhere because I just jump on an empty seat and off I go. I could travel the world, completely invisible. And do you know what? I would be, I would be one of the top spies. MI6 would absolutely love me because I could go anywhere.
You would be spy of the month every month, as long as the draw was done on the day you could turn invisible.
That's true. That's true. It'd be sort of a part-time job. You know, once a month, I'll do a day. I'm doing my day for MI6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your community service.
Yeah.
Now, here's something I just thought about actually when it comes to invisibility, right? So, I mean, that would be a great superpower. Like you say, there are good and evil applications to that particular superpower. But if you could turn invisible, would you still want to be able to see yourself? So thinking about things like hand-eye coordination, even just going to pick up a mug or pick something up, you can do that because you can see your hand, even in your peripheral vision. You can see your hand reaching for something and picking it up, and you can judge distances and things like that. But would you be able to do that if you couldn't see your own hand? I know blind people do this all the time.
Yes, of course they do. I don't know. I think I don't know. It's almost impossible to tell what that sensation would be like. But I feel like I would know where my hand is. Based on my experience of where my hand ends up, where I send it, I feel it's a really difficult thing to sort of vocalize this concept of my hand is there, I know it's there, and I think I would know it was there even if I couldn't see it.
Okay, I mean,
actually,
fair.
Interestingly, sometimes people they'll lose an arm, and they'll still feel pain in the hand,
or ghost pains,
yeah,
phantom pains, whatever they call it, yeah.
So I think if that's possible, I certainly think that if you've got an invisible hand, you would be able to control it. But yeah, that's an interesting one. The other question, of course, is if you're invisible, does that mean that you're invisible or your clothes are invisible? Because I'm thinking about this. I've got one day in a month. Now, what I want to do is make sure that I get home before the end of the day, because otherwise, if I have to go out naked, and let's say I'm on a long flight because I've jumped on board a plane. I don't want to be mid-flight and then find that I suddenly appear in the buff. that would be embarrassing.
It's like in the cockpit, behind the cockpit.
Behind the cockpit, indeed.
Behind the pilot. And it's like, morning.
Morning.
As you reappear, but start pulling naked, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like you say, that's actually a really good one. Like you say, there's good and evil applications in there, and even with my teleportation skill, you just like, actually, you could replace that with invisibility, and I'll just hitchhike on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go stand at the back or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And this is the beauty of it. You could just go anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. I mean, I know that we were thinking about, things that we could talk about tonight. And one of those things was, if you could be a fly on a wall in any conversation, what would it be?
Well,
guess what? If you're invisible, you can do that as well.
Yeah, you are the fly on the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can just turn up and listen.
Yeah.
I don't know about taking notes.
But that's it.
Floating notebook.
I was saying, could you have a Midas touch thing going on so that if you touch something, that is also invisible, so you can have your notepad and pen. But even then, you can't see what you're writing. This is where the whole you need to be able to see.
That's true.
You can write things down.
Yeah. I mean, the Midas touch would be helpful because then your clothes would be invisible as well. Yeah. So then, that would.
You're not going to get cold on the plane and be embarrassed when you suddenly appear because your time's up.
I don't know. You just have to have a good memory for these things. If you're earwigging on a conversation, or doing your day for MI6 or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But there we go. What have we got in the chat? Oh, we got David saying he would have X-ray vision. Yeah. You say, I mean, I've gone for invisibility, and like I say, it'll be 50-50 whether it's for good or evil. But I don't know. X-ray vision. What would the benefit be? I suppose you could see if something's. I don't know. How advanced does this X-ray vision get? David, get in the chat. Tell us what you're thinking. Are you thinking you can see through walls? You can see through people's clothes. You can see in people's pockets.
Mm.
You can check out people's bags. Could you? Hey, all right. We've got one working for MI6. He could work for MI5.
Yeah.
He could just be the what do you call it? Not the police station. What's the big thing with the planes? Airport. You can go to the airport and just scan people's bags.
So we've just downgraded you from MI5 to Border Force.
Yes.
Sorry, David. Oh, great stuff. And Bex has come in and said she would have magic powers. I mean,
aren't all superpowers magic powers?
Yeah, but also, what's your context there? Are you doing this in like I would be a genie for 24 hours, then I could do whatever the hell I want. I'd have those powers and I could do anything. It's the so give us a bit more, Bex. Give us a bit more context. That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be good. The genie question's always a good one. What would you do if you had a genie and it gave you 3 wishes? What would those wishes be? And then that just goes into the same conversation, which is, well, my first wish would be for 1 million wishes or infinity wishes. Now,
I feel like a lot of people's genie measuring stick is the film Aladdin, Disney's Aladdin, where the late great Robin Williams portraying the genie in that film sets out the 3 rules. Number 1 is he can't kill anyone. Number 2 is he can't bring people back from the dead. And he can't make anyone fall in love with anyone else. Oh, and there's 4. Then the 4th one is, and you can't wish for more wishes.
Right.
So you literally get 3, and that's it.
Okay. So those are the rules. That's it. Because of that film. Yeah, that film made the rules.
It's the genie measuring stick. Like the Freddo bar is the economic measuring stick of the UK.
That's true.
The cost of a Freddo has changed over the years, and that is very much an economic measure. It was 10p when I was a kid.
Yeah.
10p for a Freddo, about 25.
Really?
I think they went up to like 30 at one point, and then maybe there was a bit of public outcry, and they went back down to 25. Even then, 25p for a Freddo. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all about measuring sticks, and it's all about using pop culture and information that's around you to figure out what the correct answer is. And I believe maybe it is a thing for genies, or just general genie rules is you cannot ask for more wishes. You literally get 3, and that is it. That you are done.
Yeah.
So, but I would literally just wish to have 100 million pounds in my bank account and call it good. I don't need a genie now. I can just buy whatever I want.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's good. Yeah. Why not a billion though?
Why not a billion?
Yeah, a billion.
Yeah, why not a billion?
Well, 10 billion. 10 billion.
I don't want to be greedy.
Well, what's greedy? I mean, why not? Why not have 10 billion?
I mean, why not have 10 billion? You can just go buy an island. I'll go buy an island with that kind of money and just live there.
Yeah.
It would suck because there'd be no internet, but
Well, you can get the internet. You can get the whatever it's called, Starlink.
Oh, Starlink. Yeah, get Starlink.
Yeah.
I'm a multi-billionaire. Wouldn't matter.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It would cost you next to nothing.
Exactly.
Comparatively.
Yeah, so in comparison.
Yeah, I don't think it's particularly cheap, is it? It's not.
I think you have to pay like £500 for the device, the actual Starlink device, and then a monthly thing on top, which apparently is not that expensive. It's comparable to.
No, I think people have it on their camper vans and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure if you got 10 billion because a genie gave it to you, you'd be fine.
I could definitely afford a caravan for that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a great cartoon. I say cartoon. I mean, it's more of a meme sort of thing. I saw recently, and basically there's a wishing well, and this guy goes up to the wishing well. He says, "I'd like I wish for true love," and then the next thing is he's walking off with his new true love. Yeah. And then the next picture, he's looking back. And it's like there's a guy with superpowers. There's a guy driving a tank. There's a guy flying an aircraft. And he's like, I missed the trick there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely think. I think cash would probably be one of the more obvious things. So you could do a lot with it, can't you? Especially if you pick a number, double it, and then treble it, like 10 billion.
Exactly, that's it. I mean, I'd like to think that obviously the whole thing, the film Aladdin, the whole thing, like towards the end, is Aladdin uses his last wish to wish for the genie's freedom, to set the genie free because he's a prisoner inside the thing and blah blah blah. So I'd like to think that actually, yes, wish number 1 would be, well, just stick 10 billion in my account. That would be great. Obviously, caveats would be it needs to be legit. So have you seen the film Bedazzled? Brendan Fraser, Elizabeth Hurley. So it's a similar thing. Elizabeth Hurley is the devil, but grants Brendan Fraser wishes, and he goes, "Oh, I wish to be a multi-millionaire." And then in granting the wish, the devil turns him into Pablo Escobar.
Right.
And he's like, "No, this isn't what I wanted. I don't want to be a drug lord. And all this kind of." And it's quite a funny film. Yeah. So I'd literally be like, I want to be a billionaire. I want to have 10 billion pounds in my bank account, but I don't want it to be tied to anything illegal. So maybe that is 2 wishes on its own.
I don't want it to be illegal. I want it to be tax free.
Yeah, and tax free.
I don't want it to have been taken from anybody else. You could build up a bunch of sort of caveats to go with it.
Yeah, you could build a narrative around that. And then wish number 2 would be, I don't know, I'd probably just do something crazy. I'd be like, well, I'll have a Diet Coke.
Okay.
Sorry, there's another film and I'll go into it.
Screw world peace. I'll have a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Not like I can buy a Diet Coke with my 10 billion.
Right, exactly. Well, there's another film reference that I'll circle back to in a minute.
Okay.
But then wish number 3 would just be like, well, what do you want, Genie? Oh, I just wish to be free. Well, I wish for your freedom. There you go. Job done. I've got what I want. You've got what you want. Awesome. Maybe wish number 2 would be, do you fancy Diet Coke? So I wish for 2 Diet Cokes. That's one for me, one for you. And then wish number 3 is, I wish for your freedom. So you get what you want, I get what I want, and we both got a Diet Coke out of it. Awesome.
I see.
You've basically got what you want, so you're just like, well, I'll have a Diet Coke.
Okay, fair enough.
Or I'll have a Coke. So,
may as well just have a Coke. I wouldn't have a Diet Coke.
I mean, I would. I'd treat myself to a full sugar Coke because with my 10 billion, I'm also going to build myself a home gym so I can work off said Diet Coke or work off said full sugar Coke.
Perfect. Or you could just wish for the body of an Adonis, couldn't you?
Who's that?
Like a Greek god.
Oh, that could be wish number 2.
Yeah. And then have a diet, and then buy your own Diet Coke.
And buy my own Diet Coke.
Buy your own Diet Coke. That was easy for me to say. Yeah. Now Bex has been in the chat. She said, "I can magic whatever I want. Clean house, washing and ironing done, shopping done, maybe even magic money."
You get this once a month. Once per month.
The thing is, oh, that's true. Yeah. But you know what? I think, well, David, Bex, I don't think they're being quite so. I don't think they're looking at the bigger picture here.
No.
Well, maybe David, because he's looking at the bigger picture because he can see he's got X-ray vision.
But it depends on if they got full screen on their phone or not.
Yeah, but you see, like you can magic anything. So you can magic 10 billion.
Mm-hmm.
You can magic a Diet Coke. You can magic whatever you like, and Bex is picking a clean house.
I mean, I feel that's quite sensible.
Yeah, it's sensible.
But if you got 10 billion, you can pay for a cleaner.
It wouldn't be the first thing. I'd be like, okay, I'll magic a new house that is already clean.
Yeah,
I'll just have a new house.
Once a month.
This one's dirty. I'll have a new house.
That's great. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, I'll magic a new litter tray. Don't have to clear out the litter tray.
Now, there's another movie that I've been wanting to watch. It's on Amazon Prime. I think it's called Just for One Day or something. It's a Simon Pegg movie where he gets basically godlike powers for a day. And there's like I've only seen the trailer, but there's a bit in the trailer where he's like, "Dog poo, clean yourself up." You know, it's like that kind of thing. That's what if I had those kind of magical powers for 24 hours, it would be right, house, clean yourself, dishes, clean yourself. You know, this week because I'll do it every other week. Mm-hmm. Cat litter tray, clean yourself. You know, no problem. Just get rid of the poo. You could basically turn it into like Disney's Sword in the Stone. You could be like Merlin and just start dancing around and singing while the washing does itself.
Yeah.
1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Have you ever seen that film, Sword in the Stone?
No. No.
Great. It's a good one. Classic.
Okay. So anyway, those are the things that we would choose. You would choose teleportation depending on who's watching.
Yep.
Or you would choose, what was the other thing?
Mind reading.
Mind reading.
Telepathy,
yeah. I would go for invisibility.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move those out of the way, and let's kind of narrow this slightly into the more popular superhero powers that you get in the films.
Okay.
So the first one I would think of is Superman. Now, he's got a few powers, hasn't he? Actually, he's got like super strength.
Yep.
He can fly.
Yep.
He can
laser eyes, icy breath, bulletproof.
Yeah. If he goes fast, he's a bit tiring. But if he goes fast enough around the world, he can turn back time.
Yeah, he can do some time stuff.
Yeah. Which of his powers would you have for one day a month?
Well, David's already gone with one, and that's the X-ray vision because Superman.
He's got that as well, hasn't he? Yeah.
But actually, if I had to pick one of Superman's powers, it would be flying. It would be the power of flight. What about the power of flight? That do anything for you? #Tenacious D. Yeah, I'd go with flying. What about you?
Do you know, I don't think I'd ever heard of Tenacious D until yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was something I was just not aware of.
They're an acquired taste, I think.
Well, definitely now. I mean, they just had to cancel their tour and lost the. Oh yeah. Oh, we'll talk about that later because it's politics. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, David says that's a good film.
Sword in the Stone. Sword in the Stone. Great film.
Okay. Yeah. Did you enjoy the Superman films, like the original ones?
The first and second one, yes. The third and fourth, no.
Right. Okay. Which was the one when they had the baddies who were like stuck in glass?
The first one.
Was it?
Yeah. Right at the start. Right at the start of the first one is when Zod and the crew get put into the Phantom Zone. Right. You've triggered me into nerd mode now. Sorry.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, not sorry. And then the second one is when they come to Earth and he has to fight them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like them both. I like both the first and second one. The third one was okay. Richard Pryor was in that one. He wasn't really funny, I don't think. But then the fourth one was just awful. It was very politically driven. It was about nuclear weapons and that kind of thing. And I can't remember which one it was where we did the whole turn back time. I think that was the fourth one.
Right.
Because Lois ends up in some accident because of the big bads and dies or something. So he turns back time and then saves her or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, I probably haven't seen those films for at least 25 years or more.
It's been a few years for me. I've got them on DVD. I've got all four of them on DVD somewhere. There's a little box set. But then,
do you have a DVD player? Do you watch DVDs?
I haven't watched a DVD for a long time, but I do have a DVD player. Excuse me, DVD player and sorry, I've got hiccups now. And a collection of DVDs. But I don't really, because most of the stuff that I watch is generally on a streaming service that I am paying for as well. Like I've got a whole collection of Star Trek DVDs and Blu-rays. I don't watch them because they're all on Paramount Plus if I so wish, and that's how I'll watch them.
Yeah.
But no, I do. Occasionally I'll pick one out. So I wanted to watch Hot Fuzz the other day, and I couldn't find it on a streaming service without having to then pay for it again. So it's on Prime Video. But I would have had to have rented it and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I've got it on DVD. I'm just going to get the DVD out and put it in. But it's so rare that I do that. So rare because it's most of the stuff is on a streaming service. But if something's on Netflix, I just live without it if I don't have it on DVD because I don't pay for Netflix anymore. Got rid of it, just killed it.
I tell you what's really crap when it comes to superheroes. Batman, he hasn't got any superpowers at all, has he? He's just got a few quid behind him, so he puts together some sort of gadgets for himself. But the reality is, he's just a guy in a suit.
But there you have the ultimate superpower, and that is money, or being so intelligent that you can make a absolute metric fuck ton of money. So you've got Bruce Wayne as Batman, you've got Tony Stark as Iron Man. They're not super-powered people, but they build stuff to make them powerful. They've got money, and it's all because they got a few brains. So that's the superpower. So maybe, all told, that is the superpower that I would want, is to be smart enough to make so much money that I wouldn't know what to do with it except build a super suit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, well, I mean, what kind of power would you have to make lots of money? What would that power be?
Well, it's just brains, isn't it?
But
Intelligence.
but then there's plenty of people who are very intelligent that don't make any money.
Yeah. Well, it's that intelligence combined with entrepreneurialness, or whatever the word is. Entrepreneurship.
Maybe being able to see the future.
Oh, yeah.
Because that would work quite well in the stock market, wouldn't it?
I really would.
If you know what was going to go up and down.
Yeah.
You'd be going up and down with it. Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, going to the chat. Anyway, moving swiftly on. David says second one.
Superman films.
Second Superman film, that was it. And also says that was the first one he turned back time.
I mean, I guess that just shows how long it's been since I've watched the Superman films. Like, I thought it was the fourth one.
Yeah.
Maybe he did it again in the fourth one. Maybe that was just a thing. Did you ever watch?
If you could turn back time, you're not going to do that just once, are you? I know it's very tiring, and he needed a bit of a lie down afterwards.
I'm pretty sure Cher would do it just once, so she could give it all to you. Take back all the words that would hurt you. You'd stay.
Okay.
That's the lyrics to "If I Turn Back Time."
Right.
If I can.
Oh yes, of course, yeah.
Have you seen Superman Returns?
No.
It's not a bad film. So everyone slated this film. So it was like set many years after the fourth Superman movie. Starring Brandon Routh as Superman. I think he did all right, actually. It was just one of those where it was actually, I really enjoyed it as a film. I thought it was really good. But so many people slated this. They just absolutely went, no, it's terrible. Worst Superman film ever. And I was like, oh, it's better than number 4. I'll say that, it's better than number 4. That wasn't a bad film. And then, but my actual all-time favourite Superman movie is Man of Steel. 2013 if you prefer.
Okay, so
Henry Cavill.
Right, okay, these are just names. They're just words. Okay. I don't understand any of that.
Okay.
But how many Superman films are there then?
6 dedicated Superman movies.
Right, okay.
Well, actually, no, there's probably some from like the 40s and 50s and 60s maybe. Yeah, the old black and white. So I can't remember the guy. So, George, someone George. The old black and whites. I mean, we should probably count them. But, I mean, honestly, anything before Christopher Reeve, the Superman movie, Your Superman, with, what's his face? John Williams doing the theme song. Yeah, I don't know anything before that.
Yeah. Okay. That's an interesting thing that you should say that, because I was about to say, why do they keep remaking stuff? Why do they keep flogging a dead horse? We got this this one character and it's film after film after film, and they keep doing this. Why do they bother? Why does everything need to be updated? But the reality is, my experience of watching Superman was, I don't know, the first 2 or 3 Superman films. But of course, they weren't the first, because they were the Christopher Reeve ones. Whereas, like you say, there were things before that.
Yeah, there was some
obviously comics before that.
Yeah, and there's been numerous TV shows. Again, like Batman as well. Some people go, 1984 Michael Keaton as Batman. It was great. But then you go, well, what about Adam West when he played Batman in the 60s on the TV? And then there was probably someone before him as well. It goes back much further than our memory. But I think, because of our age and generation, that's what we got. And we kind of started from that point onwards.
Well, I don't think I've seen any of those Batman films. I think, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm concerned, I'm pissed already. As far as I'm concerned, what were we talking about? Batman to me is the series.
Adam West.
Yeah, with the pow and the
with the old spinny thing on the screen. That's great. We should make a transition. You just using our own sound effects. But I loved the Batman films. I did enjoy them a lot, and I very much enjoyed the Dark Knight films. They're the more recent ones, very dark and gritty, and I quite enjoyed those. But yeah, Superman, Man of Steel is definitely my favourite. But I think that is more a condition of, because it's a modern film set in the modern day, speaks to me and my age rather than 1980 something. Actually, I think it was 79 or 78, the first Superman film with Christopher Reeve. It's dated now. That's the thing. You watch them now and you just go, this is very out of date. but for what we know as society.
Well, yes, but then it's almost that's where the story begins.
Oh,
I mean, I mean, when he came down in the first place, and he was a baby, and he lifts up the car. I mean, I don't know when that's set. When was that? The 1950s?
Yeah, I guess that's
sort of time.
50s, 60s. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird one, but it's the same with James Bond, isn't it? James Bond seems to transcend all sorts of concepts of time because James Bond seems to be constantly, I don't know, mid-40s.
Yeah.
But
changing accents.
Yeah, changing accents slightly, but he's always sort of transported into the present time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not an awful lot changes. Not an awful lot changes with him.
Yeah, David.
Except he stopped smoking. Because at one point, James Bond was well known for smoking 60 Turkish cigarettes every day.
I was going to say, you wouldn't see him in a scene without a cigarette in his mouth.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But again, that was definitely a sign of the times, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone smoked everything all the time. Yeah, David's been in the chat. He says Man of Steel is the best one to this point. Yeah, I agree with you for Superman movies. And then he says Smallville. So that was a TV show based on like the early years of Superman, like while he was still in school, that kind of thing. And then there's been some other. There's David? What was the one with Dean Cain playing Superman? That was a show when I was growing up. I think that might have just been called Lois and Clark, or Clark and Lois, or Superman and Lois, or something. And there's been another one more recently, a Superman and Lois show.
I remember another film, Supergirl.
Yeah,
Supergirl was the thing.
Yeah, Supergirl had her own TV show recently as well.
Really?
So there's this thing called the Arrowverse, which is...
Of course there is. I mean, there's going to be something called the Somethingverse.
Yeah, but they're all DC comics. So Superman, Batman, Supergirl, and it started with a character called Green Arrow, or then just Arrow. And again, just an ordinary guy who's got a bit of money, who's just got himself a costume, and he's really good at archery. And he's a superhero in his town called Star City. And then we got the Flash. Then we got Supergirl. And then we got the new Superman, and I think I think it's called Clark and Lois is the latest Superman, but it's all built into this little mini universe where everyone is, they all know each other and they all do team ups. And Legends of Tomorrow was a really good one, actually. I really enjoyed that. Never took it. It was a show that didn't take itself seriously, and that was why I loved it. It was built in this same universe, but they just didn't take themselves seriously, and they're again all like lesser known superheroes in this show, and so occasionally they do like what they call a crossover, where all these characters from the different shows will get together in one show, and they did like an annual crossover thing. And I think like the third or fourth year that they did it, the characters from Legends of Tomorrow didn't participate in it, and but there's a scene in one of their episodes where they go, "Oh, there's a message from such and such," and one of the characters goes, "Oh, must be the annual team up or the annual crossover," and you're like, they clearly just don't care. They're doing it because they love it. That was it. CW. Thank you, David. It was the CW was the channel or the studio that did it. All the Arrowverse stuff.
Okay. Yes. Another thing, Wonder Woman. That was a thing as well.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't quite wait. If you got Supergirl and Wonder Woman, I mean, they basically did the same thing, didn't they? But really. Wonder Woman sort of span round, I seem to remember.
Wonder Woman what?
She used to spin round.
Okay.
Like spin around on the spot.
Okay.
Just do like a pirouette or something to turn into Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I don't know. I never saw a Wonder Woman TV show.
Yeah.
I didn't really see the Supergirl movie or TV show back in the day.
Yeah.
I know it existed, but that's not something that I've watched.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so going back to the thing that you can do for a day every month, it's going to be teleportation or the other thing, or it's going to be invisibility, or what else? And then that brings me round to another thought, which is we were talking before we started about the question of what special skill or what sort of thing that you could do that you could perhaps do for a day, a month. So, for example, if you could play any instrument, what would it be?
I feel there's a dirty answer to that one.
Is there?
I don't know. Just anyway.
Okay.
Moving on.
What instrument would you play? Once a month. So let's broaden the question out. Okay. So we dealt with superpowers. What instrument? What special skill would you have?
I feel like you should take the lead on this one this time.
Not a superpower, a special skill.
Yeah, I think you should take the lead on this one this time. So, what's your answer first of all?
I don't know, because I quite like the idea of just pitching it up and being able to play any instrument that somebody's got there.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that sounds like a dirty answer as well. But for example, but again, this is not like having a superpower. I mean, I could actually bother to learn these things if you had enough time. Like in what do you call it? What's the thing? Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Where he plays the piano.
Yeah, he learns the piano.
He learns the piano because he's just he's got day after day to be able to do it.
Mm.
But yeah, I thought that'd be quite fun to be able to play the piano. But then you'd end up turning into you'd turn up and there's a situation where somebody's got a violin. How good would it be if you could just like go, oh, you got a violin? Here, let me just try it. People go, oh, you can't play the violin, and you go,
yeah.
Sort of top quality violining. Is that a word?
Sure.
Yes, why not? It is now.
Yeah, it is now.
Yeah, fiddling. That's a word.
No. Not fiddling.
Not fiddling.
Don't fiddle your instrument. Don't fiddle your instrument.
My hands are up here, don't worry. Yes. So I don't know. Being able to play any instrument, I think that would be a good skill.
Mm.
But again, I don't know. Another good one would be to be multilingual.
Yeah,
it would be quite fun to be able to speak and understand and be able to read every language on the planet.
I would love that from the perspective of going somewhere. Like there is a guy on YouTube I've seen do this where he's learned Chinese, but he's quite clearly a ginger white person.
Oh yeah.
And he walks around and they obviously start talking about him, and then he just starts talking to them and like I understand you, and all that kind of thing. That's a really useful, because again, that's more from a personal satisfaction standpoint of I could be in any country in the world, I could ask for a cheeseburger and fries or whatever. And they start talking about me in their native language, and I can just understand them, and I'm just like, and I'll just say it back to them in the same language. I'll be like, or just start talking to them in their language, and be like, oh, is that really what you think?
Yeah.
How stupid do you feel now?
Yeah, and you don't have to go far. You being English, you could walk into a shop in Wales, and they'll all start speaking Welsh.
Yeah,
they're probably saying, "Oh, bloody English," blah blah blah. Yeah. Ponty Pandy or whatever they say. And
I thought to speak Welsh, you just add the sound EO on the end of everything. Microphone-eo and glasses EO. That's Welsh, right? Sorry, Welsh people, if you're watching. I'll show myself out.
Yeah. I remember seeing this. I don't know who it was. I think it might have been a comedy bit somebody did, and they were just talking about how it's a very strange language, Welsh, but it had clearly been devised by dogs. And this is clear to see because if you drive down the road in Wales, you see the signs for slow, and it's araf.
Araf. Arf. I thought the language, somebody had a cold when they made it up. Like that.
Yeah.
What?
Honestly, I don't know what they're thinking of. I mean, they're having a raff, aren't they?
You having a raff?
You having a raff?
I'm not going to say it.
I don't think they're having a raff. I think they're just a bit slow.
Hey. Again, Welsh audience, we're sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry.
Yeah, we are sorry. No, it'll be really useful to learn every language, or to just know every language, to be able to communicate with everybody, in their own language. I think that would, even just from a relationship building point of view, friendships, business transactions, anything like that. You're just like, well, I can communicate with you in your native language. Therefore, we are that to me says we're just going to have a great time. We're going to get on really well, because it's not. Yeah,
it'd be useful for that. But again, I think I have to say, mostly mischief making.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Or more likely, just kind of going into situations where people are speaking their own language, and you just sort of hang around and listen, and they'll say something about you because they think that you can't understand them, and then you'll make some sort of reference to it and walk off and think, "Haha, got them."
But drop the mic and walk away.
Drop the mic, walk away, and go somewhere else and play the violin.
Yeah, no, that's play the
violin. Get in the chat, people. Let us know what specialist skill you would have. If you could just snap your fingers and you get whatever skill you want, what would it be?
I thought you were going to say, if I could just snap my fingers, that would be a good enough skill.
Like that would be a skill. Oh, I can already do it. There we go.
I can do it anyway.
Yeah.
I read or saw someone clicking with the third finger once. Like, normally you do it with the middle, but I saw someone doing it with their third once, and I was like, that's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's.
Oh no, I've done it.
Yeah, I was but I was like, that feels so unnatural and so strange.
Yeah.
Middle finger's enough.
I can't do it with the little finger. That's a dud.
Yeah, no, it's just useless. Little fingers are fucking useless. What's the point?
Yeah. No, they have a purpose, and that's when you've gone to the loo. So you've gone to a public convenience, you washed your hands, and then you've got the little finger, because that doesn't pick up germs, and you can use that to open the door to get out.
It is impervious to germs.
Yeah.
What would be my skill? If I could have any skill? What would it?
Podcasting. Imagine if you could podcast.
I mean, just the ability to be creative in any capacity at any given moment. Like, somebody could just say something and I'll be like, I can do that. That's extending from podcasting, the content that I've tried to create over the years. Just to be able to say, actually, I am really good at that, and everything that I do with it is brilliant, and everyone loves it, and that kind of, or like I say, just put me into a situation like, I don't know, we got a certification at work, like an IT certification, IT related certification at work, and it will be wicked for me I'd love to just be able to go, I know how to be creative with this to make it, to basically start spreading the word about to everybody. And to be like a marketing genius, if you like. Anything that just allows my mind just to go, well, I have the power to, make this whatever I want to make it, and just be able to do it. Like I say, that could be video, could be audio, could be written word, website, web design, anything like that. Anything that allows me just to think outside of, I'm here, I have a set list of things to do. It's like, no, actually, I get to kind of choose what I want to do, and be as free with it as I want to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think almost the opposite. I think if I could just sort of, pick up extra skills. One skill would be sort of time management, being slightly organized, being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah,
those are the sort of skills that I'm sadly missing. And would be very useful. We've got a comment here from David.
Yeah.
It says, looking on languages, being able to read the ancient texts and languages of the ancient world so we could understand what they were saying and what ancient people tried to tell us.
It was a recipe for Toad in the Hole.
It could well be. But this is the thing. You might be, David, you might be looking at completely pointless nonsense. It could be just a complete dross. You know, we might look at cave paintings and be able to work out from that exactly what they were thinking and feeling at that time. And it might be, I'm making Toad in the Hole tonight, and yesterday I had the shits.
Because literally, it's just a set of instructions on how to tie your shoelaces. That's probably what it is.
It could be. Or it could be just be Ugg was here.
Yeah.
And it's just written in sort of weird hieroglyphics. You know, a picture of a buffalo and a spear. But it's just a little bit of small scale vandalism. Listen, I tell you what we'll do is we'll take a bit of a break, but we'll ask those people in the chat. If you're in the chat, we want your ideas. We want to know what your superpower would be. We want to know what your specialist skill would be.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
I think that's it for now.
Do you know what? I've got another thing. If you're in the chat, in the comments, something that we were also talking about is if we have a prize giveaway, what should that prize be?
Yes.
Have a think about that. What should the prize be?
What merch should we be creating to give away as a prize?
Yeah, maximum a £5.
Maximum a £5.
So it's got to be less than a £5. What prize would you want to win as a listener to the Tuesday show? So yeah, get in the chat and we'll speak to you soon.
And we're back.
We are back, and we're back, and so is the chat. The chat is what have we got? David's coming with some suggestions. He says his special skill would be to eat whatever he likes without putting on weight.
I'm there. I'm 100% there.
That would be good.
Yeah, I never even considered that. I mean, if I could have a special skill, you know. But can I get two? Number one, to just lose all the weight that I currently have.
Yeah.
And also like trim down so I don't have like mountains of saggy skin. And then just eat whatever I want, whenever I want, and call it good.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great. Just mounds and mounds of spaghetti. So prize giveaway. And something from David. He says prize giveaway would be a nice idea to have a lucky winner have the chance to talk on the show. It would be cheap and fun to see. So there we go. That could be a possibility.
Unfortunately, David, because you've suggested it, we now can't pick you, or else it might seem like favoritism.
Yeah, it would indeed. And of course, I don't know. Is that a good idea? I mean, have somebody on the show as a lucky winner. I mean, if you're like, it feels like if you're the competition winner, it's a bit like a. I don't know. Lucky competition winner.
Yeah, like when they turn up on a radio show and they're like, "Hello, hi, my name is Jim. I come from Southend-on-Sea."
Yeah,
it's like okay.
Yeah, it's also got a bit of a Make-A-Wish Foundation vibe to it as well, hasn't it? Right. Exactly. Mama Steinhoff said, "Phil, me and David." What?
Steinhoff, welcome. Good to see you.
Yeah, Phil, me and David. Well, there we go. Oh yeah.
With the topic suggestion, don't get your head out the gutter.
Well, that wasn't me. What's the topic of the day? Here we go. Okay, I want the power. This is Mama Steinhoff. Mm-hmm. I want the power to provide common sense to those that don't have any.
I mean, that would be nice. I feel like that could be one of the 3 wishes from a genie.
Yes.
10 billion in my bank account. Make common sense an actual thing so everyone knows what the hell's going on and stop stupid. Let's fix stupid. That's wish number 2. Fix stupid. And then wish number 3, wish for the genie's freedom.
Yeah.
And I'll go buy my Diet Coke.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Superheroes and powers. Yeah, right. Okay, so...
Good suggestions. I like it.
Absolutely. Do you know what I was thinking of? I was thinking, when we were talking about the Superman, original Superman, when he was a baby, and it was in the 1950s.
Yes.
One of the questions that we were thinking about in terms of what we could ask on the show, ask the chat about, was what fashion trend you would bring back.
Ooh.
Now, this is interesting because that thing, because it was 1950s. I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm currently watching for the first time. I've not seen it before. Mad Men.
Okay.
And it's set in in New York in the 1950s, and that made me that sort of piqued my interest because I was thinking about this whole fashion trend thing. I thought if I could bring back any fashion trend, it would be suits and hats and overcoats and stuff like that from the 1950s.
And Tommy guns.
Maybe Tommy guns.
Tommy gun. I've never seen Mad Men. Do they all talk with like that typical New York accent? Like, hey, Johnny, pass me my Tommy gun.
No.
No, they don't do that? Okay.
No. To be fair, that's more just turn of century type of thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because that was like 1910s, 1920s, sort of, what would you call it? Like Bugsy Malone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's the fashion at the time. It's like the main character, well, quite a few of them actually. They wear hats.
Yeah,
like
hats.
People don't wear hats like they used to, like proper hats. I mean, obviously people wear baseball caps and beanies and stuff like that. But actually, a normal sort of trilby hat or a bowler hat.
I was saying,
bring it back to the UK.
We're British. Hat. It should be bowler hats, really, shouldn't it?
Yeah. What would you bring back in terms of fashion?
I mean, are we talking just about clothing fashion, or are we just talking about trends in general?
Well, anything you like.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I don't have an answer.
Because the thing is, when it things trends that you're bringing back into fashion. I mean, yeah, hats is a clothing item, but like pocket watches,
yeah,
they're quite cool.
They are cool. Yeah, I love a good pocket watch. I don't own any, but I do love a good pocket watch. I mean, to have. I feel like I'm trying to bring back some kind of trend here, some fashion trend here anyway, with big hair, big thick glasses.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what era this is from, but I like the look. I like the retro vibe.
Yeah.
But I think if I could bring back any fashion trend, Mama Steinhoff's just literally, I was just staring at the comments, thinking of trying to get inspiration. She said, "Pants that don't show undergarments, bring that back." So for us in the UK, that's trousers that don't show underwear.
Yeah, so, otherwise that's a little ambiguous, isn't it?
It really is.
Pants that don't show pants that don't show pants.
Yeah, it's weird. I walked to the shop the other day. I took a walk to the shop to buy lunch. I was fancy buying a sandwich from the shop, and I walked past some I'll say kids, teenagers, with the whole thing of literally the top of their trousers was under their butt cheeks. And I'm like, how are they staying up? How do they stay there? And I'm also then thinking, if I had a superpower, it would be telekinesis, and I would make those trousers fall down.
Yeah.
And embarrass the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Because what a dumbass thing to do. It just looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, if you spend any time on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, you will eventually find a video of a fight in the hood, and the first thing that happens is their trousers fall down.
Yeah, trousers fall down.
The trousers always fall down.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you do that? Why would you have your trousers under your ass? because that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when you don't want it to happen.
Precisely.
Yeah. So pants that don't show undergarments. Bring that back. It's easy.
100%.
You just pull them up.
Yeah, just pull them up.
Yeah. Put some braces on. That'll solve the problem.
Yeah. Oh, braces. Classic.
Yeah.
Tweed suits. There you go. I'd bring back tweed suits. I own a tweed jacket. I love my tweed jacket. It looks. I think it looks quite good when I combine it with my beige chinos and a smart pair of shoes for work and a nice shirt, of course. A nice button-down shirt. No tie. I'm quite happy going tieless. But a full tweed suit. Yeah, like matching. So like people buy suits and they match. The jacket matches the trousers, matches the waistcoat.
Hence the saying, suit.
Yeah. But not many people wear full tweed suits anymore.
No.
And when you do see someone, you kind of go, well, he's a bit eccentric. But actually, I think that should come back as a fashion. People should really be proud of how they dress and take pride in how they dress. And I would love to wear a tweed suit. So my friend's wedding's coming up, and we've bought suits for that. And actually, the styling and the color is really nice, and it's one of those where I'm like, I would love to wear that day to day. After the wedding, of course. I don't want to ruin it. But because I'm going to keep the suit. It's not a rental. I've bought it. Because it's just as expensive to rent it, and so I might as well just buy the thing. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, that is a really, really nice suit. But if I wore that to work, everyone would look at me and say, "Where's the wedding?" Because it just looks like a wedding suit, but it's actually a really smart suit. So I might just wear the jacket as like a summertime, tweed, because my tweed jacket is quite heavy. It's definitely an autumn, spring autumn weight tweed jacket to wear. But this one will be more suitable for the summertime, I think. But I might go with I might look at just using the jacket for summertime.
Yeah, I generally think I should sort of bring back suits. I mean, I've got suits, but just don't really wear them for work anymore. Tend not to wear a suit, especially when it's summer. But I mean, I've got a linen suit tucked away somewhere. That would be ideal in this sort of weather.
Classic.
So maybe I should bring back suits. Maybe yes. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Do you know what we should raise the bar on this show? We should come suited and booted to the there's a challenge for next week. Next week we come smart. We do formal. There we go.
Hang on, before I commit to that, I am just going to check the weather report. Just because I don't want to sit here and I mean I'm so hot already. And I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts. And I'm really hot. I don't want to wear a full suit and just sit here sweating all night. So I'm gonna have just a quick look, and it's gonna be cooler next week apparently.
Yeah.
Not cooler as in like a prison camp. Anyway, no.
Okay.
We'll strike that from the record.
Right.
So maybe we'll see on the day how hot it actually is.
Yeah, and maybe we might turn up looking vaguely professional to do this job. Mama Steinhoff in the chat says tweed ?
What's the problem with tweed, Steinhoff? Come on.
Yeah.
Oh
dear, oh dear.
I know. Having a trousers like that.
Go on, you read it out.
Doesn't mean that. Having your trousers like that, doesn't that mean in America prisons that they are available? I saw it explained on TV once. Doesn't that mean in America prison that they are available?
In America, what he's trying to say is that in America, having your trousers like that is kind of an indicator for those people when you're in prison that you're available.
Oh, that you're right.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, David.
Yeah, wouldn't know.
Clearly the expert on showing your availability when in prison.
I would wear a chastity belt. I'm like, nope, no, thank you.
I would wear barbed wire. Mama Steinhoff says yes.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
There you
Answers
go.
that one.
Yeah. Suspenders.
Suspenders. What? Now you see suspenders. They're for tights or socks. Mm-hmm. Whereas braces is the right term.
Yeah, so here's another difference between the UK and the US. We call them braces. You guys call them suspenders, but potato, tomato. Yeah, a man in a nice dress, slack trouser with a crisp white shirt and suspenders. Yeah, I mean you can get actually so moving away from the braces and actually the British version of suspenders, you can get male suspenders, and you strap them around the top of your thigh or around your thigh, and then you clip your shirt to them. And it keeps your shirt tucked in. Pulls the shirt down, stops the shirt from coming untucked throughout the day.
Yes, but you know why that's even needed? It's needed because shirts aren't long enough, and trousers aren't high-waisted enough.
You don't want to be Simon Cowell.
But the thing is, when it comes to trousers, particularly for a suit, they need to have. I mean, our waist is not down on the hip.
So they're not hips.
That's not where the waist should be. Particularly for women, the waist is higher up, but also for men, the waist shouldn't be down there. So the waist needs to be a little bit higher. And because everybody seems to be going around with, I mean, you can only have what you can have.
Yep.
So if you go down the high street, you buy some trousers, you kind of stuck with what you've got. But if you've got like barely any crotch, and you've got your belt line down by your on your hip. This is why people go around saying, "Oh yes, I'm in my 40s and I've only got a 30-something waist." It's like, no, you haven't. You've got a massive gut hanging over your belt.
Yep.
That's not the same as having a small waist. Sorry, where was I going with that rant?
I don't know.
Oh yes, so the waist is too low. That's the problem. So you need a slightly higher waisted trouser, a slightly longer shirt, and then you don't have that problem. And you can also have a slightly sort of rubberized band on the inside of the trousers. Keeps everything in place.
Yeah.
No need for suspenders.
Yeah. Or just the trousers that are proper fitting with a belt as well will also keep your shirt in place.
Yeah.
But no, I saw this thing. It was years ago, and I considered getting it for when we were in the organisation and we'd wear, our number ones out on parade. It would be, occasionally I would feel my shirt coming out the back because it was just clearly ill-fitting, and those shirts were terrible anyway. So it would have been useful to have these the suspenders that pulled your shirt down. That would have been useful at that point. Have you ever had a shirt tailored?
No.
Yeah, so I think that this was a trend for a little while, where you would buy a shirt, whether it was standard fit, slim fit, whatever. I mean, when did that become a thing? But then you could also then go and get it tailored, so it would fit you perfectly.
Yeah.
All I ever thought when I saw someone with a tailored shirt was, well, you're just a pretentious wanker. With too much money, if you can afford to get a shirt tailored.
Well, there's very, very little need to have a shirt tailored. I mean, most people are generally speaking, shirt sized. And generally speaking, if you've got particularly if you've got a double cuff, there's usually two settings on it, so you can have a slightly longer cuff and a slightly shorter than that.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, you're going to be okay unless you're either a massive athlete and sort of you got a big chest and a small neck, or a big neck and a small chest, or any variety if you like. But the thing is, a shirt can't be too big, really. If you got a big, it can be around the neck, but if the neck's right, then the rest of it can be all over the place because you took it into your trousers.
Yeah, but it gets ruffled and folded over, and
but this is the thing. You see, if you're wearing a suit and you're wearing the right kind of suit and you're wearing a suit that you can wear for that particular weather, then there is no need for anybody to even see your shirt because you can wear your jacket throughout the day.
Yeah.
You don't need to take your jacket off. It's when people are wearing the suit. They've got one suit, and it's either a massive, like, thick, wintry suit, which they immediately need to take the jacket off because everything's too hot indoors, or they're wearing a suit that's basically got so much polyester in it that they're practically, they don't want to go near anything electric.
You're basically wearing a bin bag at that point.
Basically wearing a bin bag, and you're in a sweat box. So if you're wearing a reasonable weight new wool suit, your shirt is pretty much irrelevant. The only relevant bit is this bit here, that little V.
Well, that's literally what I was going to say. And actually, it's if you wear a suit, whether that's 3-piece or 2-piece, if you keep the jacket on, the shirt kind of positioning doesn't matter too much.
No.
It's like if you're in an office, who wears a jacket while they're sat at their desk? No one, because that's silly. Unless you're, again, going classic tweed with the elbow patches on.
Yeah.
So you can sit there and rest your arms down and not wear through the jacket. But
I used to wear a jacket and just keep the jacket on.
Oh, I hated doing that. It was so uncomfortable. Yeah. It was never comfortable. But then again, I'm also the kind of person that doesn't wear a jacket when I'm driving. I would rather adjust the heating in the car. If I'm a bit chilly, I'll turn the heating up because I find it really uncomfortable to wear a jacket when I'm in a seated position with my arms either outstretched driving or on a desk typing. It's not comfortable for me.
Yeah, I think if it's the right weight, the right fit, then there's no reason to take the jacket off from the start of the day to the end of the day. Even driving or sitting at a desk or whatever. Yeah, I know your elbows. You don't want to wear your elbows out, but then you're in your trousers, so you sit down. You sit down on your suit. Why can't you put your elbows down on the suit? I always found when I wore a suit every day for work, particularly when I was in a legal office many years ago, if I did take my jacket off, actually the first thing to go would be the elbows on the shirt.
Yep.
I ended up with lots of shirts with it's basically lawyer's elbow.
Yep.
With rips and tears and bits and pieces, and they would just get sort of.
Shirt is cheaper to replace than a suit jacket, though.
Well, I wouldn't even replace it. I'd just sew it up, keep going.
Just patch it there. Actually, I've seen you do that, and I've done it as well. Just patched up the worn-out elbow on the shirt.
Well, that's it. I mean, the thing is, the time when you need to be the smartest, you've got the jacket on anyway, so you can't see the elbows of the shirt. So your elbows are either for very close colleagues or when you get home.
Or COVID.
But yeah, I've had shirts for so long that they're properly fraying at the cuffs and around the collar. That's fine. It just adds character. Just adding some character to my shirt.
How to walk into a room and advertise that you're poor without saying you're poor by Ted James Media.
But like my tweed jacket, I mean, I've had that for, I don't know, 20 years or something. I mean, that's there's a little bit of fraying around the cuffs, and who cares? Still works.
I've had my tweed jacket now for nearly 3 years.
Yeah.
So I love my tweed jacket.
It's just a youngster.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's very.
You haven't broken that in yet.
No, it's very green, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
So it is a green jacket. So it's a nice like forest green herringbone tweed jacket. It's lovely jacket. Yeah. So yeah, I think in terms of fashion, tweed suits. People just being comfortable wearing tweed suits everywhere, all the time. Why not?
I'd like to see bowler hats come back.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, some people are still wearing suits to work. Why not a bowler hat? Protects you from the rain.
The thing I love about 2024, right, is you could do that. You could get on a train wearing a really nice suit, a bowler hat, umbrella over the arm, hooked over the arm, and people are, just like, okay, cool. He's just being him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like society is generally more accepting of people's eccentricities now, and freedom of style. Whereas like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, if you did that, everyone would be like, "What the hell's this guy doing? What's he playing at? You know, what's wrong with him?"
Well, then again, I mean, 20 years ago, well, I suppose 20 years ago, you're talking 2000, yeah.
2004, yeah.
2004. Yeah, but then 20 years before that, it wouldn't be unusual to see the odd bowler hat here and there in a larger city.
No, especially if you're like a banker or something like that.
Yeah.
Just what you did, you know?
Yeah.
I remember I was on a train. I think I've told this story before, but I was on a train going to work. And, I was coming back from it. I just got on the train to come home from work. And someone got on the train and sat next to me. And he was in a very nice navy blue suit, like nice polished gold buttons, or probably brass, but, you know, nice polished buttons all over. He had a waistcoat on, you know, white shirt, tie to match the suit. But he also had the umbrella hooked over the arm, and he had a bowler hat. And I kid you not, he also pulled out a monocle. Whilst he was sat next to me, I've got my earbuds in. I'm just listening to music. I don't really care at this point. And he sat there, and I kind of gave it the old side eye, you know, the old okay. And I was like, right on, nice. But I genuinely thought to myself, this guy looks really freaking smart. I like his style. You know, I just don't have the confidence to pull something like that off. I really don't.
That's what she said. I've got. It's been a while actually since I saw the last time I saw somebody wearing a monocle. But yeah, I have worked with somebody who wore a monocle.
Yeah.
But again, that was a good 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And they stopped making them. I mean, you have to have one specially made now by somebody somewhere, I imagine. But I think the last company that were making monocles stopped making them again about 20 years ago.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know where we would have got it from.
I'd wear a monocle.
But yeah, you literally.
I always said if one of my eyes was, I wouldn't have glasses with one blank, or I wouldn't wear one contact lens. I'd wear a monocle.
Yeah, grab a monocle. Why not?
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, I was listening to this guy. I was like, you know, right on. But again, it made me think at that point. I was like, 10 years ago, everyone would just been like, oh, some kind of steampunk thing going on or something, you know. Because it was very retro. Like I say, it looked so smart, and I was incredibly jealous that he looked so smart.
Yeah. But maybe that should be more of the standard, because the flip side of that is that, you know, you're saying, oh, it's 2024, you can turn up looking smart with a bowler hat on. Yes, you can, but you can also turn up half naked and nobody's going to say anything. You can also turn up with a bone through your nose and a tattoo across your face and your knob out, and nobody's going to, you know, it's just like
there's still limits.
The standards have slipped.
Yeah.
A fair bit. I know everybody's got different standards and different ideas, but I don't know.
Well, that's it. It's down to individual. But that's the thing. It's 2024. It's more acceptable to be individual now. You know, if you want, you know, you can. Is it Virgin Atlantic? You know, are like not actively encouraging it, but the whole tattoos on show for aircrew, and you're just like, well, why not?
Well, absolutely.
As long as there's nothing offensive on there, as long as you ain't got swastikas plastered all over you, you're good.
When it comes to aircrew, that's what I want to see. I want to see tattoos, because I want to know that the aircrew who are in charge of my safety have poor decision-making abilities, and that's exactly what we want, isn't it? I want the air steward to be wearing lipstick. So I think, oh yes, they're clearly professional. So that, you know, if we end up with an emergency situation, I know I'm going to be well looked after. I mean, ridiculous. But there we go.
But like I say, I don't think it matters anymore, and I've long advocated for I say advocated like I've been some kind of,
yeah, you've been out there, on the picket lines,
fighting the good fight and all that.
Fighting.
No, well, I've always believed, who cares? As long as, again, you're not. There still has to be limits. Yeah, walking around, with your knob out is probably not a good idea. But if you turn up to work in jeans and a polo shirt, who gives a fuck? As long as you can do your job, I don't care. There's a guy on my team regularly turns up to team meetings wearing a baseball cap. Initially I was like, I was like, but actually you're delivering what I need you to deliver, so why do I care? And it's not like you are in charge of people. It's not like you are, trying to present an air of, authority or any. You're just doing a job. You're just doing what I need you to do, and that's it. I don't care what you wear. I really don't. Now, if you were to then take my job and become a line manager and do different, I'd probably say maybe lose the hat. Wear a company branded polo shirt, wear jeans, your trainers. That's okay. Maybe lose the hat because it's not a professional look.
That's interesting. So you said both things there. You said, oh, it's great. You can wear what you like. Yeah, it's fine. Who gives a toss? Blah, blah, blah. But then you said, but if you're managing people, but it looks more professional.
That would just be my view on it. If that's what, if he asked, I'd be like, but if you want to wear that, go for it. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't get the response you were looking for because you're wearing a baseball cap to work.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, the thing is, I would never start. I mean, I was exaggerating with the, walking around with your knob out. But other than that, people can wear what they like and present themselves however they like.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care. Like most people don't care. But the difference is, for example, this person is in charge of everybody's safety, or this person is supposed to be managing this situation. This person should be a professional. And therefore, they should be looking a certain way, or a way in which I will perceive them to be.
Yeah.
So, do whatever you like, but don't expect that not to have an impact on the way I perceive you. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't expect people. It's in the same way as I can't expect somebody to dress a certain way when they're on the train or walking down the street. They cannot compel me to consider them in a particular way. They can't compel me to trust them or to think of them as being professional or not. They can't make that compulsion of me in the same way as I can't compel them to wear a smart suit and bowler hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, exactly, and that's it. But it's about everyone's opinion will differ. Like I say, I look at it and just go, the whole tattoos thing for cabin crew. I was like, I really don't care. Be you. As long as you can do your job, be you. But it's weird because, like I say, my thought process does kind of go both ways on it. I was talking to the other half, the other day, a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was, talking about going to the theatre, and it's like. The last time I went to the theatre to see a show, I put on a suit, and my girlfriend at the time wore a dress, like a long, like, what do they call them? Not a ball gown, like a maxi dress type. It was a long dress,
cocktail dress.
Yeah, because we were dressing for the occasion, and I was always kind of told, and I thought that that's what you do when you go to the theatre. You dress for the occasion because it is a bit of an occasion. We got there. We were basically like one of a handful of people who actually bothered to dress up for it. Everyone else is jeans and t-shirts. But at that point, I mean, we're talking 15 years ago, maybe more. But at that point, I was just like, well, these people don't know how to go to the theatre. These people are idiots. But realistically, what does it matter? As long as they're actually wearing clothes, who cares? I'm thankful that you're wearing clothes at this point. In 2024, that's my mindset. But I was talking to the other half. So I was like, maybe we'll go to a show at some point. And I was like, we'll dress up a little bit and we'll go. We won't put too much effort in because most people will be in jeans and t-shirt. But we'll put a little bit of effort in and make us, and dress for the occasion. Maybe if you want. You don't have to. That's just how I see it.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it helps if you're matching, if you're with somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay. But other than that, there's no, being overdressed really isn't a thing. And you could turn up in a suit to go to the theatre, and that would be absolutely fine. Even if you're sat next to somebody who's in jeans and t-shirt, that's fine for them. But you can wear a suit, or you can wear, whatever you like, or you can wear a tweed jacket when you're presenting a podcast.
Yeah,
we could do that. It's not going to offend anybody.
Oh, 100%.
It'll offend somebody, but you can't go wrong with being slightly overdressed.
No, I agree. And 100% next week it will be shirt, jacket, but I'm going to be wearing shorts.
Yeah.
I'm going to Ron Burgundy this shit because it's going to be too hot. So just fair warning.
I might wear a jacket and tie and not even shorts.
Just nothing.
Who knows? Nobody will know.
Just underwear. That's it. And that's the thing. You'll never know because you don't see below here.
Exactly. Just make sure there's no mirrors behind me. Sorted.
I just want to purposely put a mirror behind me now. So when I turn my chair this way, like you'll just see the reflection of just bare legs.
Yeah. Just leave it to the imagination of the viewers.
Yeah.
And of course, the listeners could, I mean, for all they know, we might be stark bollock naked right now.
We could be. Yeah.
We could be.
Could be. We're not, but we could be.
Could be.
Yeah. I might take my shorts off now.
Well, there we go. But no, if it came to bringing back fashions, I think hats is definitely one.
Yep.
Pocket watches are quite fun from time to time. But no, I think it'd be nice if people dressed a bit more, a little bit more formally, a little bit more. Have we got everybody's gone to sleep whilst we've been talking about fashion.
Boring you all to tears. Sorry, everybody.
Boring them to tears, yes.
It feels like a good jumping off point, really.
It could well be a jumping off point.
Unless there's another big question that you want to ask, Ted.
No, well, there is.
We're good. Okay.
Well, no, but I tell you what, there's a big. Well, there is one question I want to ask, but I want to ask this of our viewers and our listeners. We want to know what you would like as for a prize giving. Okay, what bit of merch would you want as a prize for whatever it may be? The best comment, the best comment in the chat. Whatever it may be. So let us know what you would like. Yeah.
Answers in the comments.
Answers on the postcard.
Yeah.
Get in touch.
Maybe you'd like a nice custom designed mug with a straw.
Oh, very nice.
My girlfriend had this made for me. It's a very cool birthday present. The birthday or Christmas? Might have been a Christmas present.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had that made for me. But we could do anything. And this is the thing: when it comes to merch, the world is really our oyster. T-shirts, hoodies, bags, mugs, coasters, travel mugs.
Yeah.
Fucking anything you can think of. Phone cases.
Oh.
Anything you can think of, we can get it made.
Yeah.
Phone cases are a bit more challenging because you have to kind of wait for someone with a particular type of phone to then order that type of phone case with our logo on it.
That's a bit of a pain.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a nightmare. So I don't think many people really do that. But the world's your oyster. You want to...
Oysters.
Yeah, we could brand up some oysters. You want a keychain? You want a key ring?
Oyster card.
Oyster card, yeah. Credit card?
Yeah.
We don't do credit cards. But...
I don't know. Yeah.
You want a glasses cleaner? Yeah, glasses cleaning cloth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I just happened to be on my desk. I was cleaning my glasses before the show.
Yeah.
So,
David's been in the chat. It says CJ chair.
What about my chair? Oh, you want that as a prize? No.
No, we can't give away the furniture. What are you talking about?
You're not having my chair.
No.
This is the most expensive chair I've ever bought, and it is also the most comfortable chair I've ever bought.
Well, that should be the way that it should be.
That is how the economics should work.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But no, David, no, we're not giving away chairs. No.
We're talking about branded merch.
Branded merch.
I mean, if you want a chair like this, and I'm sure I can talk to Secret Lab and get my logo put on here.
Yeah.
Then maybe, but I'm not going to give it away. That's going to be really expensive.
Yeah, or maybe that's what he's talking about. He's not saying CJ's chair. He's saying a CJ chair. He wants a chair that looks like CJ. So, like, he wants to sit enveloped in CJ as if he's being given a hug by CJ every day.
Now, literally, that's where my mind went as well, and I'm sitting there going, beanbags. Like life-size beanbags of you and me that people can sit in, and like I say, they can just wrap the arms around and get a big hug from us. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, CJ and Ted beanbags.
Yeah, beanbag chairs.
Yeah, get both. Get a matching set.
Yeah, collect the whole set.
Collect the whole set. Oh dear! I mean, maybe not beanbag. Maybe plushies. You get a CJ plushie and a Ted plushie.
Genuinely, okay. Sorry, we're going into a bit of a rabbit hole of merch and stuff now. So I'm going to refer back to my mug. So I was like, my logo, my avatar that I made for my gaming channel. Mm-hmm. I've genuinely considered trying to get that made as a plushie.
Yeah.
It's got a nice little friendly face, it's smiling and all that stuff. Yeah. And I was like, genuinely, I wanted to see if I can get it made as a plushie. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Just got to find someone to do it and the money and,
Yeah.
So someone suggested to me once that they knew a friend who could do stuff, and they do some stuff, and I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't see it on there. There is I know, Ted, you can see it, but just above my finger there is a little stuffy, it's a felt character that's been stuffed, so it's a 3D, but it's just made of felt, and it's nice. I love it, and I'm eternally grateful for the person that made it and sent it to me. It's my avatar from an old podcast I used to do, right. And they were listening to it, and they were like, oh, that's great. And then they did this thing. They made me and they made Nate into these little stuffy things. And then, the same person was just like, oh, maybe they could do that. I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking more for, like, the other stuffies that are up there, the plushies, that kind of thing. So if anyone knows anyone, that would be awesome to understand if that could be done. So what else have we got in the comments? Steinhoff says, good try, David. Yep. Like the mug with the straw. I mean, okay, the straw didn't come with the mug. I bought the straw from Tim Hortons. It's a Tim Hortons reusable metal straw, but it's just useful for that mug because it's got a nice hole, just the right size. And then, that's what she said. Yeah. David said, "Wobbleheads of the Paris." Do you mean like bobbleheads, something like that? Yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, get some CJ and Ted bobbleheads. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the Pop Funko, the Funko Pop characters you get with the big head. Right, hang on, just wait there. Hang on. Ugh. I can do this.
You can do it. Oh, he is wearing shorts, thankfully.
I am wearing shorts. There. These are Funko Pops.
Okay.
This one's specifically a Star Trek one that my mum bought me for Christmas one year.
Mm-hmm.
You can have those custom made.
Right.
So we could do those of us.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Yeah. And then give those away as a prize.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember where you go to get them custom made, but I've seen many custom Funko Pops around. Yeah. So I'm sure we could reach out to Pop Vinyl and get them to do it.
Well, there we go. Another thing we could do. Do you know what? I've just thought of this. Last week we did a whole episode of dad jokes.
Yeah.
What we could do is we could have the Tuesday show, CJ and Ted's book of jokes.
Yeah.
We'll do that. A small book of jokes. It'll be a toilet book. There we go. Out in time for Christmas.
That is actually going to be really easy to do. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And I'll happily explain it to you off air if you like. So
excellent.
On how that's easy to do.
Excellent. Fantastic. Merch is on its way.
Yeah.
It's on its way. Watch this space.
Yeah, we're going to have four people buying our merch. Because that's the four. Or five now. Five people buying our merch.
Yeah. Get your orders in now.
Yep. Cool.
Excellent. Right. Well, my orders are to orders that must be obeyed at all times.
Order arms.
Order arms. Yep. Right. Okay. But now we're just talking bollocks. Yep. It's time for us to go. Yep. So please do not forget, you can get in touch with us outside of the show. You can always DM me at Ted James Media, and you can DM CJ at, God, there's so many, it's like acronym city, isn't it? You can DM CJ at CJ Brooks FM. You can also email us at
CJ and Ted at thetuesdayshow.co.uk.
That's the one. Until next time, have a great time. Goodbye.
Thanks for hanging out. Bye. Bye, David.
Bye.
Steinhoff. Bex. Love you. Bye. Still there. Bye.
Bye.
Now we got